Now joining us from Kingston is Michael Taylor, a professor of climate science at the University of the West Indies. Michael, thank you for being with us. First, how are you holding up and how are you writing this out?
We're doing our best to ride this out. One of the things is that we've been preparing for this from about a week now, and so there is a real mental fatigue. There's anxiety, there's nervousness, certainly amongst my own family, but across the population. But we're riding it out. I am in a concrete, home with a slab roof, which gives you some kind of feeling of security. That's not the case with everybody, however. So that's a big challenge.
Yeah. Michael, with this being the strongest storm this year, what about it from your scientific perspective are you most curious to see play out?
Well, I'm not sure about, I don't know if we even want to see it play out, but the things about it, in terms of science, for me, are the slow speed. And I think that's what's making it so devastating, or creating the greatest worry. This is a storm that has really been going very slow, which is what has caused it to hang around for almost, a week. And because it's so slow, of course, as it moves over, if that slow speed continues, it's going to dump a whole lot of rain. Catastrophic rain is projected on the country. There's a greater opportunity for that storm surge to push inland. And of course, the landslide potential, because Jamaica has a strong hilly interior. So the very slow speed is one of the scientific, I would say curiosities for us. But of course, it's a massive storm, so its size as well. It's going to cover the entire Jamaica, so we're going to have multiple hazards and risks at the same time. And of course, just the strength.
And we know at the top of the hour, our Alison Chinchar says that the storm has doubled in speed, but that's still only about 5 miles per hour, so still very slow.
That's right.
We talk about the potential devastation. Can you give us a sense, for those who may have never been to Jamaica, a sense of the infrastructure there and its ability to withstand a storm like this?
So certainly, depending on where you are in Jamaica, we have, the capital is Kingston, and there are other major cities, and we have lived through storms in the past, never one like this. But certainly even coming out of Berry last year, we had the last major one of this kind of strength, but not this, was Gilbert in '88. There have been improvements in infrastructure, all geared around trying to be resilient. And that would be largely in the capital cities, of course. Of course, when you move out, there are informal settlements which are less secure. And then places where people live also pose significant kind of damage. But the critical infrastructure, the utilities have done their best to be resilient. So that would be water, light, internet abilities. It's mixed across the country, as you would expect.
Okay. Talk to us about, Michael, you hinted on this for a moment earlier. Talk to us about the impact this is already having on Jamaicans, whether it be the foreboding, the psychological and emotional impact, but also plans for the future there.
Right. One of the unique things about this particular storm, as I said before, was just, we got the first bulletin for this storm last Tuesday, and this is now Tuesday, 1 week away. Over the course of the last week, we have gotten repeated, notices about when landfall would happen. There was lots of uncertainty, and now it is actually moving towards us. That has created a level of mental stress and anxiety and fatigue. I think the term I want to use is a psychological marathon. And so even before the storm hit, we were already tired. Now we are going through it. There is another level of worry. The winds are certainly strong outside. The rain is falling, and we are in Kingston, even still removed from where the landfall is going to be, And then, of course, we're going to have to deal with the whole kind of stress afterwards. But people are doing their best to hunker down and be prepared. We all take our personal things. We do personal things with our families. You have your emergency kits. You make sure you have your water stored, your things charged that need electricity. You do everything, food. But it does take a tremendous wear and tear on your mind, and this one certainly has done so.
Well, we are certainly having you on our minds. We wish you the best through this. Hope that you stay safe. Michael Taylor, thank you.
Thank you very much.